I think the Charybdis may have largely solved my RSI. And I swear this is not just clickbait, since I started using this keyboard as my daily driver about 5 months ago. I've experienced fewer RSI flare-ups using this keyboard than any other keyboard that I have used, and that includes the Glove 80. In fact, the number of RSI flare-ups that I've experienced since using this keyboard is none. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And also, I'm a software engineer who got into split keyboards after experiencing really painful RSI or repetitive strain injury to the point that it was really affecting my work. I started noticing discomfort around my mid to late 20s, which progressively got worse until it got to the point where I was basically in agony as soon as my fingers touched a keyboard. Not, this keyboard, but like other keyboards. If you've been noticing pain that you can still work through, or even if it's just minor discomfort, don't be like me and wait until it gets so bad that it begins to seriously affect your ability to work. Anyway, before we continue, I'd like to establish three things. First, the root cause of RSI can be completely different from person to person. So I'm by no means claiming that the Charybdis will help you with your RSI symptoms just because it's helped me with mine. Second, if you've been following my channel, then you know that I'm a really big fan of the Glove 80. And in fact, in a recent-ish video, recent for this channel anyway, I said I thought that it was the most ergonomic keyboard on the market. And third, that is still my opinion. So if the Glove 80, in my estimation, is more ergonomic and more comfortable than the Charybdis, then why have I had fewer issues on the Charybdis than I have on the allegedly superior Glove 80? And the real reason is really not that exciting, but it's because of the lack of a palm rest. If you're familiar with the Charybdis, then you may have been thinking that it's because of the integrated trackball. And while I have thoroughly been enjoying this trackball, far more than I originally thought I would, and the trackball is definitely an ergonomic advantage, it is in fact not the reason why I believe I've had no issues with RSI while using this keyboard. The good news is, if the lack of a palm rest is truly the reason why I haven't felt any RSI symptoms with this keyboard, then I can take the palm rest off of my Glove 80 and get the same benefit. And that's not to say that I haven't experienced fatigue. I frequently experience fatigue from typing. When you type as much as I do, and lately it seems like I've been typing more because of all the AI stuff and just like chatting with chatbots and arguing with them and telling them why they're stupid and wrong and they can't get anything right. That's a different story. But I do a lot of typing and I do get tired, but I feel like there is a distinct difference between just fatigue that you would just expect from doing a lot of typing versus RSI that can really be debilitating to doing your job. In previous videos, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to stay with the Charybdis or switch back to the Glove 80. And if I did stick with the Charybdis, it would entirely be because of the trackball. It has been so amazing to have a trackball literally at my fingertips. And for that alone, I would be happy to continue using the Charybdis as my permanent daily driver. However, as I was working on this video, I realized I need to run an experiment with the Glove 80 of using it for a couple months without the palm rest to see if I experience any RSI symptoms. As comfortable as the Glove 80 is, I still had occasional RSI flare-ups. It didn't happen often and it was always manageable, but it was there. I've always attributed these flare-ups to getting too lazy and allowing my palms to rest on the palm rest during active typing. I've talked in a previous video about the need to have floaty hands while typing, and that you should only rest or relax your hands on the palm rest when you're not typing. When you're like resting. When you keep your palms resting on the palm rest and don't allow your hands to hover or be floaty during active typing, this anchors your hands to the spot on the palm rest and causes your fingers to have to strain and stretch, especially your pinky. But even knowing this, I still did it. After all, like I said, after a long day of typing, like you naturally get tired, and the Charybdis has completely taken that crutch away from me. It's forced me to keep my palms floaty without resting them while I'm typing. And I have noticed over time that it has become a lot easier to keep my hand up like this and not have to rest it down on something while I'm typing. I have experimented in the past with taking the palm rest off the glove 80, and after like 10 minutes, I ended up putting it back on just because it's so nice to be able to just like rest your palm there. But the thing that was uncomfortable was having to hold my hand up, and that was some weakness that I have not addressed or hadn't addressed until being forced to address it with the Charybdis. So we'll see how it turns out. And my hypothesis is that I will not experience any RSI flare-ups as long as I keep the palm rest off the glove 80 and don't use it as a crutch. And also, I'll have the chance to try out a dedicated trackball mouse. I think my days of a mouse like this are behind me. I mean, there still is a place for this, such as like gaming. I'm sure there are people out there who do game with trackball mice, whatever they're called. I'm not one of those people, so like I'll keep a mouse around because I do like to game. But for everyday work, yeah, the mouse is behind me. I I don't see myself using anything other than a trackball. And I have the Charybdis to thank for this because it has made my opinion on trackballs take a complete 180. I used to think that they were only for the nerdiest of nerds, but maybe I am the nerdiest of nerds, and I've been converted. I haven't set my sights on a trackball mouse yet, so if you are currently a trackball user and you have any recommendations, then let me know down in the comments below. I guess there's still this guy right here that, in theory solves all the issues that I've been talking about, I guess, other than the mouse. Although this does have a trackball that you can attach to it. Still waiting to get that. Allegedly, I will get one eventually. I don't know, haven't seen it yet. But other than that, I don't really have any updates to share with the Master Forge if you were wondering about that journey. There is just a massive learning curve to using that, and it's kind of hard to just completely switch over to the Master Forge because I have a job, I have to get stuff done, and I'm so slow on this thing. I have all the keys memorized, but whew, I'm so slow. And yeah, that is okay. That is officially it for this video. If you got to this point, thanks for watching, and yep, hope to see you in a couple months because man, life is rough. Have a good one. See you.